When was the last time you felt completely safe? Maybe it was at home behind a locked gate. Maybe it was inside one of these fancy, uh, high security estates. Maybe driving your car. Maybe carrying a firearm. Whatever the answer is, I have a follow-up question. Were you actually safe, or did you simply feel safe? Before you get the wrong idea, I'm not trying to suggest that feeling safe is a bad thing. We all want that feeling. And in this country, we want it badly. In fact, most of the decisions we make around the security are driven by exactly that. We install alarms, we buy firearms, we join neighborhood groups, we put up cameras, we subscribe to armed response, and we invest in training because we want to feel safer. So there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. The problem starts when we assume that feeling safe and being safe are exactly the same thing, because they're not. And I think all of us, that absolutely includes myself, sometimes confuse the two. Human beings are not particularly good at judging risk. We like to think we are rational, but most of the time we experience risk emotionally. We don't always ask, how dangerous is this situation really? We ask, how do I feel about the situation? Those are different questions. For example, many people feel safer in a secure estate than they do in an ordinary suburb. Difficult to blame them. Statistically, though, they might well be safer, but there is, I think, an important distinction. The walls, the cameras, the guards, the access control doesn't make crime impossible. They simply reduce risk. That's a different thing. Likewise, many people feel safer carrying a firearm, and in some circumstances, they probably are safer. A firearm can absolutely provide options that did not exist before. But carrying a firearm doesn't suspend the laws of reality. It doesn't make you bulletproof. It doesn't eliminate poor decision making or replace awareness. So it certainly also doesn't mean every problem now has a firearm shaped solution. The firearm may contribute to your safety, but it's not your safety. There's a difference. The same thing applies to security signs. You've seen them: armed response, 24-hour monitoring, in an area under surveillance. Those things may be backed by real security measures. They may be entirely legitimate, but let's be honest, the sign itself doesn't protect anyone. The capability behind the sign is what matters. Sticker on the wall, reassurance. Effective response capability, risk reduction. The more I think about it, the more I realize that most security measures fall into one of two categories. You can tell me if you differ. Some reduce risk, some reduce anxiety. Occasionally, they do both, but not always. And there's a place where these things start to become very interesting, because reducing anxiety feels so good, doesn't it? It's immediate, it's comforting, it's reassuring. Reducing risk, on the other hand, is often less visible. It usually involves habits and awareness and training and maintenance and planning, things that are not exciting, things nobody notices when they're working properly. Think about awareness. Nobody posts a photo online because they noticed something suspicious and avoided it. Nobody gets congratulated because they chose a better parking spot. Nobody gets recognition because they left an area where their instincts told them something just wasn't right. And yet, those decisions may do more for personal safety than many of the things that we do spend money on. In fact, I think if we're honest, most successful self-defense outcomes are boring. I've said so in previous videos. The potential victim sees a problem developing early, and it's just not there when the problem arrives. No headlines there or dramatic stories, but it definitely works. When people hear a conversation like this, they tend to swing too far in the opposite direction. They start believing that nothing works and that security measures are pointless and nobody's ever really safe. And that's not really true either. It's just another overly emotional response. Understandable, I get it, but that's what it is. The goal isn't to become cynical. The goal isn't to become paranoid. The goal is to become realistic. And there's a difference. Realistic people understand that security is usually about probabilities, not about guarantees. Firearm, alarm, electric fence, that secure estate, none of that guarantees your safety. But all of those things improve your odds. And that is the game that we are all trying to play. Not certainty or guarantees, probabilities. That's why I think it's useful to occasionally ask ourselves a difficult question. What is this thing actually doing? Is it reducing risk? Is it mainly making me feel better? Ideally, the answer would be both, but it's not always. And being honest about that can help us make better decisions. I think here's a simple thought experiment. Take away the thing that currently makes you feel the safest. Maybe it's your firearm or your alarm system or that security gate, your car, your estate wall. Now ask yourself what remains. Do you still maintain good levels of awareness, situational awareness? Do you still have good judgment? Do you still pay attention to what's happening around you? Recognize danger early? I mean, these are the things that travel with you wherever you are. They're always available. Doesn't matter where you find yourself. And that is what makes them so incredibly valuable. At the end of the day, I think most of us are looking for certainty. We want to know that we will be okay, and we naturally want guarantees. We want to believe that the right piece of equipment and the right service provider or the right purchase will solve that problem. I just don't think life works that way, and neither does security. We are all playing a game of improving the odds in our favor. We build layers, we develop skills, we improve awareness, we make better decisions, and over time, those things definitely start stacking the probabilities in our favor. So, what in your life makes you feel safe? And how much of that is actually making you safer? Understanding the difference may be one of the most valuable security lessons any of us can learn. Food for thought, stay safe, stay aware, stay capable.